Let's go! Welcome everyone to the Sports Mechanics channel. This is Nicholas, and today I am presenting the Toyota CHR, a small, compact, very designed hybrid sport utility vehicle. As usual, we will do a complete presentation of the car, try it in all possible conditions, and see what it gives, and I also give you my opinion at the end on what this vehicle is worth. So it has sold more than 60,000 in France, more than 400,000 in Europe.
It was intended as a small crossover that they wanted a bit versatile and urban. Frankly, well, it's really what it looks like today. We have a GR version, so Gazoo Racing, a bit like the Yaris GR that we tried on the channel. Well, it takes up the physical DNA, not necessarily nervous, etc. It's not a sports car, but it's true that according to Celine, its size, we say it's still a pretty nice thing, so it's a hybrid version.
We have the choice between two engines, either an 822 horsepower or the 2 liters that we have today, 184 horsepower. Each time it will be hybrid versions, so no plug-in hybrid, it will just be hybrid, so a small battery and the car really manages itself. Everything that is recharging and energy transmission in electric or gasoline, it starts from 25,800 euros. The CHR today, we have a Gazoo Racing version with almost all the options for a price around 38,800 euros. What you need to know is that I saw on the website until the end of June it seems there is a small reduction, and it is around 34,000 euros instead of 38,800. That's still 4,800 euros, almost 5,000 euros reduction. I find that it's worth it though in terms of the dimensions of this car. We are on a car that is 4 meters 40 long, 1 meter 79 wide, almost 1 meter 80 and 1 meter 55 high in terms of weight. We are on a car not excessively heavy, 1,500 kilograms for a hybrid car. I find that quite correct compared to this car. You will have the choice on 7 different colors today. We have a very nice white gray, and we will have the choice of 10 different rims. That's great customization, will be really nice here. I have 19-inch rims today, rather pretty. Then on the front, like everywhere on this car, I find that it's a car that is really very, very designed. There are really plenty of lines, and it imposes quite a lot. I really like these lights. So we have, of course, full LED lights. So either for here, the fog lights, or here. So here we have 3 small parts in LED width, and well, the big eye here, which will be the light for the night, we have this line that starts from here, hop. So same daytime running light here on this big eyebrow of headlight, very nice with the Toyota logo. Then it is not surrounded by blues yet, it's a hybrid. Quite funny maybe, because it's the GR version, the bumper here, which is painted, which goes down to the corners, and there all this part which is painted. Also, so it's plastic but painted. It's pretty nice rather than having just matte black plastic. It's still nice to have a nice finish like that in the center. We just have it this place on the bottom. This plastic, this famous plastic, and well, not to rub here. The car is still quite high. We can go almost anywhere and climb curbs without problem with that. We also have all the driving aids, lane keeping, adaptive radar, collision detection, etc. And what is great about this car? Well, it's that we see nowhere a big black block. It's well hidden in the car, that I find really very cool. The little towing hook here, the little parking sensors, is frankly a car that is still a sacred design. The hood here, all in curve, without big lines on it. It's nice, it's aerodynamic. I find it rather pretty on the side, as I was saying. So a car that is 4 meters 40 long by 1 meter 55 high, and like a little bit all the little crossover, little SUV. We have this plastic part that starts here, that comes around the arches, that does all the bottom of the car. So there they have still made a big part that goes up. Well, that goes to the rear wheel, that still goes around the arch, and that will end on the rear bumper. So that's really The style that we put on almost all the SUVs to give this cost is a little bit more off-road, as there was on the 4x4. At the time, we have very nice lines, and they're here at this part is just amazing. Since it's perforated inside, it's a bit of tuning. I find it rather cool on the back there. As we see, it goes up a little bit there, like a cocktail. It's fun. The lights, the same, very worked. I'll bring you that in detail when we'll be on the back. And we have a handle that fridge here to see the door with the little button to close with the keyless opening. So if I press, the car closes. And the handle here, it is high, so frozen at this place. So it's a real solid handle. It's not just a piece of plastic like some cars where it's really not cali. Here we have a real good quality handle painted. I find it pleasant. However, often the children, they can open from here. For a small child, it may be complicated to open. So dad and mom will have to come open to put him in the back. The gas catch. On this side, we of course only have gasoline engine, not diesel on the hybrids. This two-tone, so with the body color here and the black on top, the shock antenna just on top. And what's nice is that the two-tone is also done here in the rear door handle with this line that runs away. Up to here, it's original, a high ground clearance as I told you, so we can pass in any case on the paths without worry. We do not have 4.4, we have a two-wheel drive. So traction, in addition on the rims, we will be on 19-inch wheels. We had to 225 at the front, as at the rear on 45 thickness. With big legs like that, it could be quite firm. Frankly, it remains rather correct on this 3/4 rear. Frankly, for me, I find the most beautiful view. Maybe for some the ugliest, but in any case, the one that does not leave indifferent at all on all the lines of this car. So we have a sort of boomerang here at this place. Hollow lines, the bulging here, a big line that starts from the front with the same, always a kind of boomerang shape at this place, in fact, which creates a sort of part with another here. It's really very, very atypical. Wings that are always a little bulging there, lights here, rear the same that stand out from the body, really in 3D, rather pleasant with very small details on the sides that are nice with the LED strip that is made at this place. There we really have a car that does not leave indifferent even at the rear, and I really like that there. It is frankly finishes instead of just often having a very simple bumper. There it is. There's really a work that has been done with the reflectors, the integration of the reversing radars. I think they really did a good job. When we really look at it from here, we say, wow, they still did something very worked, very design. In addition, on this GR version, we have appendages, even a little more worked. We can have a little more worked bumpers as an option, and others. The little hybrid reminder just here, the little GR Sport reminder here. We like that. On the back, hop, something simple. The reversing camera here. Well, I would always like it to be a little better. Hidden, the Toyota logo here. We have a handy wiper on this kind of windows. And so this spoiler here at the back with integrates a third brake light with the help of rear light. Also here the Toyota CHR model of lights the same. So the help, as I said, the rear bumper. So here we have all the plastic part that takes up the plastic from the sides. And small embellishments here that could make believe to a kind of exhaust. Now the exhaust is lower and here. And the view from here, we see it with the mirror effect. So this spoiler here, which is perforated in the middle, so we can pass the hand each time. It gives a really very, very nice air anyway. And this back, so which goes up a little bit like a ducktail. Well, the trunk hop, I don't have the automatic opening, but I have a quite large trunk with a volume of 358 liters up. 358 liters, it gives that about. I could put myself entirely, and we could close the trunk in the trunk. We have small hooks for bags on the sides of this side there, as we have the JBL speaker kit. I have the subwoofer, and frankly with the JBL speakers, the quality is really nice with the weak under the floor there underneath. What is there? We have small storage spaces. No spare wheels, a small net that we can approach the puncture repair kit here, a small inflator and the towing hooks. So we still have some small storage spaces here, hop there for the back. We can otherwise fold the seats in 2/3, 1/3, 2/3 on this side. They're 1/3 on this side. They're quite easily. We just have to pull and to close the trunk hop. we have a small handle. So what is funny is that you have to put your hand on this side there to be able to search. We can't put it on this side. They didn't think to do it on both sides. If you want to see the size that there is to the end, I fold this part up. You think that it fits in length, so is it 1 meter 80 belly? Here I see HD seat passes a little bit. We will have 1 meter 60-65 up to the front seat without it being advanced to the maximum. So for the back, so I open with my handle all at the top when I enter. I enter rather easily, even if it goes down a bit. I lowered my head a bit. So here the bench is lowered. Since I lowered them, I have a flat floor up to the seat to go up, quite easy. The belt is good. It is a bit on the side so it doesn't get stuck behind the seat. Hop, I close the door, then here my head rubs a little bit. So even if straight here, it's okay. You shouldn't be more than 1 meter 80. If you want to stand up straight, I have room for my legs. The seat is adjusted for me at the front. It's okay. I have a little space under the seat to pass my feet. However, I feel a little bit trapped in the back of this CHR, as we see. So we really have a kind of a little bit of a cut car on the back. So it gives us very small windows. Really, I feel like I'm looking through a slit here. If you're a bit claustrophobic, it's not necessarily the favorite car of claustrophobics in the back. It's dark, everything is black, so it's simple, it's effective, a little more gay. I would have liked on the door here. I have a big place for a cup holder, very handy to have it right here. My window, my handle to pull my handle to open. On the other hand, hard plastic there. Here, they made a little effort. A hard plastic, but with diamond shapes. It's rather nice and pleasant to look at. Otherwise, I'm well installed. I have space, I have Alcantara. So on the 2 passenger seats in the middle, we have leather, frankly. I'm good. I didn't even raise the headrest, since it's quite high already by default. And frankly, I'm not bad. The middle seat, so it has its belt on the bench. That's a good thing. We have a very small central tunnel here. A little bit inclined on the middle seat. My head doesn't touch. Not like on the sides. I'm rather, well, the seat quite comfortable, frankly. It's not disturbing. The backrest a little harder for him. But in the end, I'm not too bad. I have room for my feet, so I won't fit a 45 in total length. I have to spread my feet a little bit, but I can put my feet on the central tunnel, which is positioned quite low, or otherwise. On the sides, it's okay. It's frankly not crazy, but it's not bad either. We, of course, have ISOFIX fittings on the seats with small cache, and at the back, well, we're not so bad. Simple then. At the front, a door that opens quite large. I settle in easily. Hop driving position. So I'm not too bad. I have the seats. So GR that really hold well. Since they go up, of course, on the sides. As we can see here, same Alcantara. In the middle, and good bulges, so I fall well in my seat. They are electric here. Hop. I have all my settings. I can adjust the height also. I can adjust the front of the seat on the height also. And I have a good driving position there. I have enough space this time on the THR compared to the Yaris to have a good vision by putting quite low. I have a good visibility on all of what's on the road. The steering wheel falls well in hand. I have the steering wheel so adjustable, hop in height, in depth. Frankly, we are still good. I will show you directly driver's point of view to what it looks like, and then we will take a little tour on the road. So driver's point of view, it looks like his first thing. So the steering wheel, leather steering wheel, perforated leather here, smooth leather here with red stitching inside. Really very, very nice. So as it's a GR Vision, like on the Yari Deer, what?
We'll also remind, small red stitching here on the boot of the lever on the seats. Same white and red stitching, very nice. So this Alcantara in the middle, very simple, very pleasant. The advantage that it's not cold in winter, it's not hot in summer when we go up. So we see, well, the bulges here that go up, well, the little GR logo that pleases at this place there, and beautiful headrests.
Rather soft, a little bit of grey Alcantara here, darker grey at this place there, and leather on the rest of the seat. Let's start on the left. So his doors here with a bit foamy plastic here, this finish like at the back in diamond, a bit diamonded. The door handle of the lake is here, a kind of imitation finish to lula the window and mirror adjustments. Then we have on the side the height of the lights, the auto lights. Of course we have the automatic lights. And the little gas cap that we open here on the doors, we have the space here so we won't put big bottles. It's a bit of a shame, small 50-cent bottle, no problem. And other small storage here, the pedal set looks like this when we go up vent at this place. They're apart in leather on this finish today, rather nice with small stitching just here that goes all the way down there behind a plastic part. With the small temperature sensor, the JBL speakers at this place there, we will also have them on the sides, then on the steering wheel. On the left part, we can adjust the audio menus on the right, we can adjust the background menus, hang up the phone, hang up voice command, stay in the lines, regulators, and the distance between vehicles. As I said, what is quite funny is that we have on this car the regulator that activates here on the steering wheel, and it moves with the steering wheel. It's the first time I see this. It's not bad, because at least when we turn the steering wheel, if we want to reactivate, even with the little finger or like this, we can do it this way. I start the car to show, so I have the little button here with the GR, the gas, or racing. And there the car started, so the little beep was to warn you that the car was started since it's an electric car. No noise. The average 4-liter 7, well, we skewed that a little bit since I did the 0 to 100 just before. So basically I was at 4 liters per 100 on average. It's frankly impressive as a car. It consumes almost nothing on the left, a needle here. That will indicate what I'm going to do if it goes down. It charges when it's in the eco zone. Often the engine doesn't start when it's in the power zone. It's to give you the maximum of power. When you have the little icon had here, it means that we are in full electric mode. And then there you have the menus. So, but as I said, we can change with this. We have access to a lot of menus. For example, there, the remaining battery. In this way, we will see the speed in kilometers, the remaining gasoline, for example, at 558 kilometers. It tells me the GSA controller. It's for lighting corner and others the time has elapsed. So, on the time you have driven, how much time you have spent in electric there, it indicates it to you at this place, there nothing, or that. We can go back there and then we have other settings compass. We will see the music, we can have the aids, the messages, or the driving modes to see the vehicle settings and activate here the aids at this place there on the right. A very classic counter in 2 speeds with the gas gauge on the side, the lights and the blinkers. Here, of course, automatic, and on the right, the windshield wipers. We, of course, also have the automatic mode here. This screen that we know well at Toyota, so a very simple screen. Frankly, it does not look very 2021, everything that is here. But it's just the base. Well, we can't necessarily blame it as long as it works well. Well, it suits me, but it's true that it could be a little better. For example, the menu, well, we have really icons. Very, very simple. The volume here, change radio here, hop we scroll like in the old days, the vents here, all the team block at this place. So we have the heated seats also on 3 positions, passengers, also the settings, the temperature. I set here the speed hop and where do I want to be ventilated, and there. It's my passenger who can set his temperature. We can put in dual, we can put the echo, we can put the air recycling, etc. Then, lower down, we have storage. We have a storage here, so which is half big, half not big, a little bit slanted. We can put a phone. We have the USB cable that we put at this place for Android, Auto, or Apple CarPlay, a large cup holder here, where there is really a lot of space, the gear selector, parking, reverse, neutral, drive, and sport. So when I put myself up here, I'm in drive. When I put myself there, I'm in sport, and I can shift my gears. Like this. No pedal, we can just do it with the knob here. The parking brake that automatically applies when you switch to parking the EV mode to switch to electric mode when you want, and force the car to stay in electric. The auto hold when you brake, so that the car stays stopped, and disable the SP if snow or other here, a second large cup holder and a thing. Very nice look. There are 2 holes here. It's to put your fingers like in bowling. You can pull and it doubles the depth of this cup holder here. It's really a good idea. I can close it this way here. I have this armrest, so it's nice. What I would blame it for is that it's a little bit in the back. I would have liked it to come a little further to really see it from this way when I have my hand on the steering wheel if we have small arms. But otherwise it opens and we have quite a bit of space here inside with a 12-volt socket at this place on the side down there. So we have a glove box that was hidden all the way down. We press on it. Here's what it looks like inside. We can put a large bottle and I show you the door. Here's what it looks like on top, this mirror here, as there is almost on all the Toyotas. It's not necessarily very beautiful, but effective. It has the automatic night mode, the lights on top, the microphones here when you want to talk to the car. I never show the sun visors with the light that comes on here. Yes, a very nice thing. Look, it's carved here. It has small nice shapes of plant petals. I like it a lot. And here it's the same to go get the sun visor. I can do it here, very nice. And we also have it on the passenger side. Well, I think it's time to take a little ride with this car. So we're gonna start the test of this CHR in town. And as usual, we're going to do all types of roads, city, national highway, small departmental, and really see what it gives in terms of comfort and road holding, and also how it behaves, of course, all types of roads. So let's go foot on the brake. I press here on the gas or racing, like on the gear, and manages that. It's cool, nice little reminder. In combat, on the Finnish manages today the Sport Pack from Toyota up. So it's a hybrid, it's not rechargeable, but there is still a large battery capacity that allows and well to consume very little automatic gearbox hop, and let's go. So I leave in all electric as long as I don't get mad on the accelerator pedal and I have a little battery left. The car will stay electric as soon as it needs. It restarts the engine. And the blow, she manages that really very well. So there I have already, before the test crossed, and almost all of Paris I did all around the ring road. I did a little bit of highways, and the national I am at an average of 4,300 on the last 100 kilometers. 4,300 is still really super reasonable for a sport utility vehicle of this size there. And the hybrid version, I find it really top for me. Frankly, the hybrid or even rechargeable hybrid, it still remains the best compromise these days. What the full electric is a little bit complicated. Thank you, madam. And there we do not have the worry of saying, it is necessary that the recharge thin. Where is it that I am going to plug in the fact of having a simple hybrid that recharges itself? It is still super pleasant, and especially at 4 liters per 100, having done city traffic jams, I find it top in the end. It has the big advantage of also having a part of I have a little button here, EV mode, where I can stay in full electric mode if I have enough battery. So there, for example, since earlier, I am just in electric mode. Yes, otherwise I have a small gauge there. The engine started, it turned off when I leave hop, it restarted, and it displays me therefore with a small bar on the screen here if the engine is started or not, and frankly driving slowly. Like that, I don't know if you can hear it. Having a very light foot and driving frankly calmly in town, I have trouble knowing if the engine is started or not. Just put a little bit of music, frankly it's almost imperceptible. And what's good is every time I release or brake, if enough battery or not, well, the car will say let's go, we cut the engine. So there it remains, started to be able to recharge a little bit the battery, but concretely you don't manage. You don't do anything, you let it do it. It will frankly do the best it can. We don't have a mode to force the recharge. However, we can just know the range that remains of the battery. So, with the small menus in the background, So there it will tell me that I have left. So I have 3 bars out of 5, 6, 7, 8. And there it tells me that I have switched to EV mode. So VC and click vehicle. So that means model, and I have a small animation. So with the battery and the wheels, which tells me if the battery is powering, or if it's the engine with an engine, or if it's the engine that powers the wheels and the batteries every time I release the accelerator pedal or I brake the wheels, recharge the battery to be able to recover energy. And that's frankly at each deceleration. There the engine just restarted. Even if it still has battery, it will still restart, since it knows that the battery will help assist it, and that at other times it will be more interesting to have just the electric, for example. There it restarts. And in short, it manages very well the maneuverability of the car, and frankly it is quite good. We have a vehicle that is not bad. The steering is flexible, it is quite light, and there with this version we have frankly a car, and well, which seems quite frank in the changes of direction. I find it quite good. The suspension filters the defects, so there in the holes it goes.
It remains a bit firm, and what is good is that when a car remains quite firm, it is not going to take too much roll in the turns, and it's the same when braking. The car, well, it's not going to sag at the front, and that's also a good thing.
In terms of size, you honestly get used to it easily. We have a good view in the rear view mirrors. For the city, it's top notch. For me, and to pick up with this 2-liter 184 horsepower, it picks up quite well. Honestly, I have nothing to say to it.
On that side, it doesn't take too much time to sort.
To drop a report, so it's not really reports that there are on it, it takes a little bit of time to engage, but as there is the electric that picks up at the same time, it's okay. We don't have the impression of really waiting 2-3 seconds. It relaunches quite efficiently on the data. It's okay, it's firm, but especially one, it doesn't take that much roll than that. We will try in a big roundabout to see what it gives also. And almost every time I stop, sort of big start and stop. No more noise or vibrations, which is super pleasant in town or traffic jams. Absolutely no noise. Even uphill it picks up quite well. Or it handles well in terms of acceleration. Right now I'm on a hill, and starting on a hill I also have the pole that allows me to stay stopped. Once I've stopped, it keeps the brake pedal pressed. So here on this kind of turns and hop and can accelerate it, starts the engine, hop, and then from the moment I release the pedal it goes back to electric. Honestly, it's great management, and it's really a car that's going to be ultra economical. 4 liters average. Of course I have all the driving aids, so the cruise control, what's quite funny is it's the first time I see this. I have the cruise control that moves with the steering wheel that's behind. Here, so hop, I just pressed like this to put it, or pull. I set down, I tell it hop, the KMH, I want 50 kilometers per hour. I have the lane keeping. The car manages on its own in town. It's not necessarily ideal, but on well-marked roads, it's honestly not bad. Only small thing I noticed. So I don't know if it's specific to this particular model today or not. It pulls a little to the left on the highway. It sticks well to the left lane line. That's the only little thing that bothered me. Otherwise, it handles itself really well. Adaptive regulator is top notch. Nothing to tell him. And it goes until the vehicle comes to a complete stop. Well, come on, we're going to get out of the city. We'll go a bit at 70, then 90, 110, and 130. We'll see what it gives. I reset the counter to 0, so the counter for consumption, to really get an idea during the test of what it's going to give. So now we are at 50 kilometers per hour. So I can set, as I said, my cruise control, set it at this point, 50 kilometers per hour. I have my driving aids, my lane keeping. I don't touch anything. As usual, it knows. It's frankly pleasant
to be able to be driven with this kind of car these days.
I love everything related to driving, especially for this specific type of vehicle. It's the vehicle we're going to use every day. Traffic jams, etc., small roads, it's great. All right, let's go. Now, we're going to go up to 70. I'm setting the cruise control to 70. Honestly, it's going pretty well. And I'm already at 70. So now, I have the engine starting. Honestly, I can barely hear it. I hear almost as much noise from the air conditioning as the noise of the running engine. Honestly, it's pretty good. So, when there are cars passing by, I find that we can hear them quite well. So it's not huge. We can still hear them though. We go back to 50.
So here I let go.
I switch to charging. The engine turns off. And it recharges me. The vehicle. So that's really nice too. Every time you release it, recharges the batteries a little bit, so you can then start again in electric mode at the next light. And there, for example, when I accelerate a little bit, the engine is off, it stays in electric. Added, I pass it quite quickly. Frankly, it filters well, the added. This one is not too aggressive. It was quite big. We have a suspension that filters well at the beginning, then remains quite firm at the light. I put the hold on so I can release the brake pedal. The car doesn't move anymore. So what's a shame is that the hold doesn't stay on all the time. That is to say, you're going to have to put it back on every time you restart the car. That's a bit of a shame. I would have liked them to remember that we want the hold. So here I have the little electric light on, I have the air conditioning running, and now I'm going back to electric. As long as I don't press hard on the accelerator, I'm going to stay electric. Zero consumption. Okay, let's go. We're going to do the road holding test in a bend. So here we have a big roundabout. It's perfect. There's no one. So we're going to set a little pace. We're going to see what it gives. So here we have a good pace. I notice is at least the front is very precise. I take it where I want. The car takes little roll. It remains firm. It remains dynamic. It squeaks a bit of tires. So the engine, when we relaunch a little bit, it goes quite high in the revs. Honestly, it opens a bit. So it's not dangerous since it opens a bit. So we will quickly know how to catch up. So by opening a bit, we press a little on the brakes, it puts a little bit of weight on the front, and honestly, as I tell you, it's quite directive, and voila. There, for example, I change sides. A very slight roll and well contained. And once it's on, once it's supported, it stays supported. Frankly, the behavior is healthy in a turn. It stays good, frankly. So the engine will restart, it will climb quite high in the revs. So what is annoying about this kind of box is that it does not shift gears. We cannot stay on a report there. It's going to go up quite high if we want to solicit it when we go through a tunnel automatic ignition of lights. Of course, as I said, automatic light. Automatic wiper. We have everything that is automatic. Now, it's frankly top. We will see in turn. There on a small roundabout, I hold the road well in my seat. I immediately feel that I come to lean here with the lower back, frankly. These seats are great even if you live in the high mountain in the bends. Look, you see a little tossed, but in any case, we are well maintained by this seat. I'm going to go insert myself at 90 on the highway. I'm at 90. So now I put my cruise control back to 90 the trucks. So I have, thanks to the options here, the lane keeping in power steering, and I also have the center hold so that the car stays in the center and follows the lines. So there, for example, it turns, it's the car that manages. You are a little scared sometimes at the traffic jam. I don't have traffic jams. I don't like traffic jams. It's not a problem. The car is driving for me. I'm not touching anything. The car slows down. It stays between the lines. That's why this kind of driving aid relaxes you. Traffic jams occurred during that time. If we have a manual gearbox, etc., we need to be ranked, and that's where the car drives itself. I just need to leave my hand on it, as you may have heard, to insert, so it goes quite high in the towers. It stays quite high until it stabilizes. Once it's stabilized, it's okay. We will try to regain a little bit of speed. Right after that, it goes back to 90 kilometers per hour all by itself. So it goes to 90, the regime stabilizes again. Here we have a brand new tarmac, so really almost no rolling noise. I have slightly wind noises coming from the top. Apart from that, it's frankly pleasant. We don't have contours, so I wouldn't be able to tell you at how many revolutions per minute we are with this engine. I let myself be driven. In any case, 90 is great. So hop there, I switch to 110. The box, finally, the car will relaunch quite strongly by itself. So it goes back up in the rounds, and then it goes back to stabilize at 110 me, whatever. It goes, frankly, seen from the aero of the car, a little bit of rolling noise there. There, on the other hand, we have more rolling noise change tarmac.
Frankly, it's pretty good.
Let's go. We're going to insert. Let's go. I'm getting stuck in full. We'll see what it gives. That's it. I'm getting to 110. It relaunches well at 184 horses. I have the help of the electric motor that comes to help the thermal engine. I get back to the regulator. So 110 kilometers per hour, as I was saying, it's pretty good, slightly rolling noise. Once the engine stabilizes, frankly, I hardly hear it. I can't switch to EV mode now due to insufficient battery. But there can be phases where the engine will even go to 110 kilometers per hour in electric phase. As soon as there's a slight downhill or something, the engine will manage that itself. And we're going to try at 130 when I relaunch it. It's gonna do well. The same. Always, what's a little annoying with these boxes is that it goes up quite high each time. So at 130 kilometers per hour, we start to have quite a lot of wind noise at the level of the pillars here. Still very little noise. I can hardly hear the engine running. It indicates that I'm at about 6 liters per 100 at 130 kilometers per hour. It's not unreasonable to have over a long period 6.7. It goes up a little bit. In some, it seems to me frankly reasonable even on a small road like this. Degraded at 70, we feel that the car remains a bit firm. We still have large 19-inch rims. It's not uncomfortable after that. We also have a version that's a bit sporty. So expect it to be a bit firmer. It still remains good. Alright, U-turn. And we're going to put it in sport mode, foot to the floor. Let's see what it does. It gets to 80, it's not bad. It picks up effectively, it's not crazy, it's just what we need. We did the highway and others, so it recharged the battery well. So sometimes we're going to say that the engine runs a lot to recharge the battery, but the car anticipates a lot, so that then in town we can use the battery a little more. So right now I have almost all the bars.
And I can put myself in forced full electric mode, so that means that even if I accelerate a little bit,
you really have to be very, very light on the electric mode, otherwise the engine restarts instantly, so you should not exceed the middle of the echo, otherwise the engine will restart. However, if you are very gentle and very light, I can leave the full electric mode. It's nice if you come to do the highway, you arrive in town. It's frankly very, very pleasant. However, the autonomy of these cars in full electric is not huge because it's just small batteries. It's just to help compensate a little bit all the time, and to recover energy to redistribute it during accelerations. Let's see if I can just cross the city in full electric. I've just spotted a second bar, so there's a little climb here. I don't think I'm gonna do a lot in full electric. The goal afterwards, with all the electric cars, hybrids, plug-in hybrids, is really to anticipate, to be progressive on the accelerator, really not to be in a hurry, and anticipate far away, to release as soon as possible, So for example, there is a light I release now, so there's no B mode for energy recovery. So it brakes a little bit by itself, not much. There, for example, I let myself go, it recharges little by little. And I just brake at the end. It also allows to save the brake pads. It's true that a B mode is really great, because when we have the B mode, it brakes much stronger, and we sometimes have the limit of one pedal driving. That's even better because we just manage with the accelerator. We never touch the brake in reality. On the electric phases, we have the little noise outside that we hear a little bit. It's mandatory for pedestrians in Europe, at least in France, all of Europe, I'm not sure. We hear it a little bit up to 30 kilometers per hour, and then we are in silence. We have to try not to exceed the middle of the eco mode, otherwise I restart the engine. So until there it's going well, so it takes a little bit of time. However, by the time we get to 50 kilometers per hour, if we really go slowly, low battery. So basically I did 1 kilometer, a bit more than a kilometer in full electric mode. There was a big climb that consumes a lot, and then she tells me, so I have 3 bars left, and for her 3 bars is not enough. Well then, what can we think of this CHR? So a hybrid version, like Toyota, knows how to do it well, it works well. It's efficient in terms of consumption. I did between 4 liters and 4.5 liters per 100, having done a lot of cities, a little bit of highway, a little bit of everything. It's quite comfortable. I would have maybe liked a bit more soundproofing. We hear a little bit what's going on outside the car. A little effort on that would have been great. In terms of road behavior, in the end, the car handles well. It's quite comfortable, while remaining quite firm. It keeps a good dynamic behavior, 1,500 kilograms. It's not necessarily the lightest, but 4 liters per 100 with 1,500 kilograms, it's still nice to have this kind of car. The 184 horsepower version that I have today, frankly, not much to say about it. The gearbox is not dual clutch, but it responds correctly and revs up slightly when pressed and demanded a lot from. Otherwise, it's quite pleasant. The price, 38,000 euros, it's roughly average for what's out there. With the current discount in May 2021, it's quite pleasant. Starting from 25,000 euros, it remains correct. Not much to tell her. We have space in the trunk. If we fold the seats, it's spacious. We have a little bit of space in the back. In the back, we may feel a little cramped. It's not necessarily what's most wow and grandiose in the back, but it's quite comfortable. We have small windows apart from that. I don't have much to tell her. It's a nice car for me. I like it when it's tense. It's designed Toyota made this bet to make a car really tailored to the greenhouse. This model really wants to differentiate itself from others. I enjoyed this test. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and give a like if you enjoyed the video. Tell me if there are other vehicles you'd like me to try on the channel. It would be my pleasure. Thanks very much. See you soon.